Good morning, everybody. My name is Blake Harris, and welcome to the Taste of Science stage at IFT FIRST. I'm the managing director at IFT's Global Food Traceability Center. Thanks for being with us. So first up, we're thrilled to welcome Gelita. They're located at booth 3214 under the theme Be Active, Rethink Protein. Elevate active nutrition with collagen peptides. Gelita is showcasing science-backed ingredient solutions that enable manufacturers to create food and beverages that deliver nutritional value, satisfying taste and texture, and consumer-desired health benefits. Joining us is Ginger Waller, Manager, Technical Services, Food and Beverage, Food Scientist, and Angie Reimel, Marketing Communications Manager, to present Where Taste Meets Science, Unlocking Better Snacking Experiences. This session will discuss how the better-for-you snacking market is evolving beyond simple nutrition claims. Modern consumers now demand products that offer meaningful nutritional value without sacrificing superior taste, texture, and overall eating experience. This shift is being accelerated by GLP-1 behaviors, which drive demand for nutrient-dense, satisfying snacks in smaller portions. While protein enrichment and sugar reduction are key purchase drivers, a critical gap remains between consumer health expectations and product reality. This session will provide practical insights into closing this gap, demonstrating how brands can design snacks that successfully meet these high standards, as sensory quality rather than functional claims is what ultimately secures repeat purchases. And now, please join me in welcoming Ginger Waller and Angie Reimel.
Hello there. How's everybody doing? Excited for the first day of IFT? You know, we kind of have a special place up here, Angie, because we're the first presentation.
I know.
We can make the bar high or low. We're hopefully going to make it somewhere in the middle.
You let us know at the end. So I'm Angie, Ginger. Welcome and thank you everyone for joining. All right. For over 150 years, Gelita has been on the forefront of collagen protein innovation. We bring together science, market insight, formulation know-how to help brands rethink protein and create products that customers want to buy again and again. All right, so let's get started.
Before we get started, I want to tell you kind of what we're going to present. We're going to present some relevant information for creating better for you snacking ideas, okay? Through a very practical lens. Not only what consumers say they want, but what products must deliver for those consumers to buy again and again and again, which is what we all want, right? We want those repeat consumers. So the central idea is that taste and science must work together. We have to create those products that they want. So we move from market signals into the product experience to challenge, then close with where targeted ingredient solutions can help brands create those snacks that are both nutritionally relevant as well as enjoyable. That's kind of the key, because if consumers like it, they will buy it again.
Okay, so now let's get started. I think. What is it not moving on? All right. So GLP-1 medications are reshaping how consumers approach food. Excuse me just a minute, our slide is not up
I got
there.
it.
Got it. Is it up there?
I think it's up there.
Oh, okay. All right. So they're reshaping how consumers approach food. With the GLP-1 effect, every bite matters. So as appetite decreases, eating occasions become less frequent and portion sizes get smaller. That makes every bite have to work harder nutritionally and deliver more. So we're seeing a stronger demand for products that deliver high quality protein while reducing sugar and other ingredients that consumers perceive as less desirable. At the same time, consumers aren't willing to sacrifice taste or texture. In fact, 72% say they're willing to pay more for rewarding healthier snack options.
Question by a quick show of hands. Who's more willing to pay a little bit more money for healthier snacks?
Now
I think we got about 72% right there.
there we go.
Thanks.
And that's because, not just because it's healthier, but you want it to taste good, right? Okay. So for product developers, the opportunity is clear. Create snacks that combine nutrient density with genuine eating enjoyment. The brands that succeed will be those that bridge nutrition, indulgence, and manufacturability. So the takeaway is simple. Winning concepts will deliver more nutrition in every bite without compromising enjoyment. So for Gelita, this is where taste meets science, helping brands to create healthier snacks that are still desirable, practical to produce, and enjoyable to eat. Next slide. So the message on this slide is simple. Nutrition alone is not enough to secure repeat purchase. Better for you snacks may win attention because they feel healthier, but they're only going to scale when the sensory quality feels fully rewarding. So the data point here refers to 74% point to taste, flavor, and texture as the leading selection criteria, compared with 40% for health ingredients. So in other words, health can create interest, but taste and texture decide whether consumers come back.
Taste and texture are always king. We know that.
So now this is especially important, next slide, in bars and gummies, where people judge quality through texture, bite, and mouthfeel, right? If the chew is tough, the bar is dry, the gummy doesn't deliver the expected bite and flavor, the nutrition claim cannot compensate for this. So this is a commercial product design challenge, not just a formulation challenge. The goal is to make the better for you products that feel enjoyable first, because sensory quality remains the gateway to repeat purchase. Next. Now let's talk protein. Protein has moved beyond sports nutrition and become a mainstream wellness habit. So today, 63% of consumers include protein in their daily routines, creating opportunities far beyond traditional performance-based products. So consumers are looking for protein, though, that naturally fits into everyday life, convenient formats, great taste, credible nutrition. The 45% growth in snack protein claims shown here shows how quickly that brands are responding. So while this trend extends far beyond GLP-1 users, GLP-1 adoption is accelerating the demand for such products that fit into smaller eating occasions. Now the takeaway is simple. Protein may drive trial, but repeat purchase depends on the experience. So winning products combine convenience, nutrition, and enjoyment. Gelita helps brands to deliver all three through collagen protein solutions that support protein enrichment while creating the textures consumers love. Now, bars and gummies are two of the most actionable platforms in snacking today. Both combine convenience, familiarity, and strong health positioning. So growth in reduced sugar and protein-rich gummies shows significant market momentum, while protein still continues to be a key driver for bar innovation. So the takeaways, bars and gummies offer brands a fast path to turning nutrition trends into products consumers want to repeat purchase. Now with solutions such as Octobar and Soluform, which Ginger will explain later, Gelita helps manufacturers to deliver the taste, texture, and nutritional value needed to win in these growing categories. Now here the market gap is clear. Consumer demand for better for you snacks is strong, but product execution often falls short, right? So many products that deliver the nutrition yet struggle in texture, chew, softness, or overall enjoyment. Now that creates a significant opportunity. Brands that can solve these sensory challenges are better positioned to turn healthier snacking from a compromise into a desirable experience. Again, the takeaway is simple. The biggest opportunity isn't creating new health benefits. It's delivering them in products that consumers will genuinely enjoy eating.
So this is where formulation becomes critical, and we know this as formulators. High protein and lower sugar can create some sensory and even some technical difficulties that are difficult sometimes to overcome, and they impact the product quality as well as the consumer experience. We don't want that. We don't want it to be a negative experience. The opportunity is to overcome the trade-offs or the challenges without compromising the eating experience. We want them to be happy with what they're eating. And that's where Gelita's ingredient solutions can help, enabling brands to deliver strong nutritional positioning while still maintaining that taste and texture that is so desirable to consumers and that they expect. Soluform, this is where Gelita's ingredient solutions can help. So, protein gummies are one of the more challenging formulation spaces. Soluform helps manufacturers increase protein content while maintaining that sweetness level, that texture, that taste, that bite that they want. Plus, that has the visual appeal that consumers expect. The result is a protein-rich gummy that can deliver the protein that feels more like a treat and less like a nutritional compromise, which is what we don't want consumers to experience. Reducing sugar, how do we know that's a challenge? Because it impacts so many different things. It impacts the taste, the texture, the sweetness, and there's so many aspects that it can impact. So Soluform can help manufacturers increase that protein, maintaining that taste, texture, and visual appeal that consumers expect. The result is a protein-rich gummy that feels more like a treat and less like a nutritional compromise. Reducing sugar is challenging, as I've said. Sugar contribute sweetness, it impacts the texture, the mouthfeel, the taste, the bite, so many other factors. So reducing sugar is challenging, we know that. As a result, Soluform can help address these functional gaps, enabling sugar-reduced confectionery that still delivers on the actual sensory experience that consumers expect with that bite and with the mouthfeel. The result is a practical path to better-for-you candy that feels rewarding and not restrictive, which is the goal. As protein levels increase, texture can become more difficult to manage. Any formulator knows that. The higher the protein goes, the harder the bar gets, the more difficult it is to formulate. So basically, OptiBar helps maintain softness and overall eating quality, giving brands more flexibility to increase their protein content without sacrificing the indulgence, the softness, the sweetness, the bite, the taste. That flexibility gives developers more way to innovate across a broader snack portfolio.
There you go.
Did it go? OptiBar does extend beyond the traditional protein bars. Now, this is where I kind of get excited because me personally, I prefer a savory snack than a sweet snack. And binding systems in cereal bars typically require syrup, right? Well, with OptiBar, you don't have to have syrup in order to get the binding capacity. You can actually bind your bar, and if anybody could make a bar that tastes like pizza, I'm in, man. I'm in there. So basically, this is an option with the OptiBar because it can be the binder system all on its own, and it does not require the energy for cooking, so there's a lot of benefits there. So a lot of information. Its functionality supports the cereal bars, the binder system, lower sugar snack options. So that flexibility gives developers and formulators more ways to innovate across a much broader snack portfolio.
So the GLP-1 effect is accelerating the demand for these smaller, more nutrient-dense snacks. But consumers still expect the great taste and texture. So the opportunity isn't nutrition instead of indulgence, it is nutrition and indulgence.
So that's where Soluform and OptiBar help. They enable bars and gummies that combine strong nutritional positioning with eating experience consumers want. Takeaway, it's simple products that balance nutrition, indulgence, as well as manufacturability, which is extremely important. But they're all positioned to win with consumers. And hopefully with formulators too. So thanks for being here. We can take questions at this point in time if anybody has any questions. But if you don't have any questions, you can connect with us on LinkedIn. And we advise you to go ahead and stop by our booth at 3214 if you do have questions and don't want to raise your hand in this audience.
We'd love to hear about your plans for your new product launches. We have experts that can help you there. Stay in touch. We have some samples. Maybe they're passed them out already, but
they do have samples. We have Soluform gummy samples as well as OptiBar samples.
So thank you for coming.
Awesome. Thank you, Ginger and Angie, and thanks again to Gelita for that fascinating look at snacking innovation. Once again, be sure to stop by their booth at 3214 to learn more about today's concepts and product applications. And thanks again for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day at IFT First.